I'm coming at you live on tape from Sydney, Ohio. And today's movie is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And no, I have no idea what went on in this movie either. But I do know one thing, Danielle Harris is not back as Jamie Lloyd. Now, the reason for this is she was 17 at the time, and they told her they needed her to work full-time on the picture instead of working on it part-time as a minor. So they told her to go get emancipated, which she did. And then they offered her the minimum pay rate they could offer her, which did not cover her emancipation costs, so she chose not to do the movie. So they brought in someone else to play Jamie Lloyd, who dies rather early in the picture, as you will see. Also, there are two Michael Myers in this movie. Not there are two Michael Myers in the movie. Two people play Michael Myers in the movie. You see, they originally hired George P. Wilbur to play Michael Myers in the movie, and he did, and he is the bigger, taller Michael Myers. He also plays the Shape in the movie. But when they finished the picture, the studio hated it so much they demanded reshoots. Now, the original version of the picture is still available. It's called the producer's cut, and I highly recommend seeing that one because it has to make more sense than the theatrical cut. I have not watched it yet, but I intend to when I get some money so I can order it off Amazon. If you're going to watch a theatrical cut, I recommend reading the plot synopsis off Wikipedia before watching it. But anyways, back to why there are two. They demanded reshoots, but George P. Wilbur wasn't available to shoot to be Michael Myers. So they hired this other guy in to be Michael Myers, who was noticeably smaller, and the mask, which was made for George P. Wilbur's face, didn't fit this guy's face. So as you will see if you watch this movie, there's a big Michael Myers and a little Michael Myers, and the mask fits the big guy's face, but the mask is kind of loose on the little guy's face. And that's the least confusing parts of the movie. So we start with Jamie Lloyd, who is not played by Danielle Harris, giving birth in an underground tunnel led by cultists, who immediately take her baby, who she is begging for, and put a mark on his belly. And then her person who helped her give birth, I don't know if it was a nurse, if there was a midwife, nanny, doula. I think that's how you pronounce that name, doula, the person who helps give water births. No, it wasn't a water birth. Helped her give birth, steals the baby, and helps Jamie Lloyd get away, only to die trying to stop Michael Myers, who is now free in this underground chasm. Jamie then steals a car and takes off for a bus depot, where we see Paul Rudd's character giving a voiceover about the history of Michael Myers. Now, I think Paul Rudd is great in this movie as a heavily damaged man who came face to face with death with Michael Myers when he was a child and is now obsessed with him. No one else agrees with me. But back to the movie. Jamie runs this bus depot and calls this radio show, because it's an 800 number and she can't get through to authorities, asking for anyone to help her and asking for Dr. Loomis, who is now retired and hears the radio with his friend Dr. Wynn over at his place. So does Paul Rudd, who immediately tries to figure out where she is. Meanwhile, Michael Myers catches up with her, and she escapes out the window back in the truck, only for Michael Myers to run her off the road. Mind you, Jamie's only supposed to be 15. I don't know where Michael Myers learned to drive, and I don't know where 15-year-old Jamie Lloyd learned to drive either. To catch up with her on a farm and kills her. Paul Rudd then figures out that Jamie's at the bus station and finds her baby. Only for Dr. Loomis and Dr. Wynn to go and find Jamie's body at the farm and see that Michael left his mark. Michael's never left a mark before, but apparently Michael left his mark this time, so they know it's Michael Myers. Then they go to the hospital. Paul Rudd goes to the hospital demanding to see a doctor for his baby, which they call security on him. But Paul Rudd runs into Dr. Loomis, who shows Dr. Loomis the baby and tells him to meet him tonight at the Halloween celebration, because Haddonfield is celebrating Halloween for the first time in 5 years or 6 years, whatever. Meanwhile, Paul Rudd tells Dr. Loomis about the Strodes, who was Laurie's family, Laurie's adopted family, who is living in a Michael Myers house and whose daughter's son is having visions of a man in black. So Dr. Loomis doesn't know that he's having visions of a man in black, obviously. But Dr. Loomis goes over there to warn them to get out of the house because Michael Myers is coming after them. Sure enough, Michael Myers comes after them and kills the mother and then the father. Paul Rudd gets over there in time to warn the mother of the son, who's the daughter of the mother and the father, and gets her and her son to his apartment and tells them to watch the apartment for Michael Myers, watch the house for Michael Myers. Now, Paul Rudd has to go out to meet Dr. Loomis. But when he comes back, the mother, I believe her name is Kara, and her son Danny are running from Michael Myers because they went into the old Myers house that the Strodes are living in. And Mrs. Blankenship, who I believe that is her name, has told Danny that he hears voices like little Mikey Myers, and the voices told Michael Myers to kill his sister. Now, I hate this because I hate them humanizing Michael Myers. Michael Myers should just be pure evil all the time, just want to murder everyone. Not hear voices. I hear voices, I just don't listen to them. Now, they don't tell me to kill. They mainly tell me to eat. And I don't eat all the time. So they're running from Michael Myers after her brother and her brother's girlfriend just got killed. So then Dr. Wynn shows up. He's the man in black. How he has been placing himself in the boy's dreams is never explained. But they take Kara and the boy and the baby hostage and take them back to Smith Grove Sanitarium. And they just drug Paul Rudd and Dr. Loomis, who's, by the way, Donald Pleasence is really, really old in this movie. But Paul Rudd, whose name is, we're just going to call him Paul Rudd because I don't remember his name. Oh, his name is Tommy. He's Tommy from the first one. Tommy Doyle from the first one. And Dr. Loomis go to get them back. Dr. Loomis gets knocked out when confronting Dr. Wynn, who he's about to shoot. And Paul Rudd rescues Kira in the only sanitarium I know that every freaking door is unlocked. And yet, when they go to shut them, they're locked. I don't know how that works. So they're having surgery on the baby and Danny. They're going to transfer Danny to the baby to Danny. I don't know how this works. This surgery is never explained. But don't worry, because Michael Myers shows up and kills everybody. So it doesn't need explanation. And then Paul Rudd steals the baby, and Kara steals Danny, and they run some more. And it finally comes down to a showdown in the basement where Paul Rudd ejects Michael Myers with some acid. And Kara beats him with a pipe, but not before Kara gets strangled. And then Paul Rudd injects him with more acid and beats him to death with a pipe to the point where the acid is flowing out his mask. And then they go home, except for Dr. Loomis, who says, I have work to finish. And that is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I hope that made sense to you, because it didn't make any sense to me. Is the boy going to be the next Michael Myers? Oh, I forgot the whole Curse of Thorn thing. Because Michael Myers, okay, I'm going to get into this very quickly. Michael Myers kills his family because he has the Curse of Thorn. He was chosen to have the Curse of Thorn, which makes him kill his family, so the harvest is better. My cat just gave me a look like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they say he can only appear on Samhain, which actually pronounced Samhain, which is Halloween, as we all know, who watched Joe Bob. And when Thorn is present in the night sky to kill his family, because Thorn is a constellation. It's an ancient symbol. It's also a constellation. That made no sense with me saying it. That made no sense with me hearing it. That made no sense with anything. Yeah, they pretty much scrapped the Halloween storyline after this movie. Did Halloween H2O 3 years later, which was a direct sequel to Halloween 2. Then did Halloween Resurrection, which was a direct sequel to Halloween H2O, which sucked ass. Then Rob Zombie made his Halloween movies. Then they did Halloween, the new Halloween trilogy from Blumhouse, which was a direct sequel to Halloween 1. So pretty much this movie killed the Halloween franchise. But I do recommend you seeing it because it is not completely terrible. It moves fast. It keeps you interested. Just if you're not going to see the producer's cut, read the plot line of it on Wikipedia first, because then it makes more sense to you. And if you are going to watch it, I highly recommend watching the producer's cut, because it has to make more fucking sense in the theatrical cut. Okay, as for the song. This is the Confused movie song, because I was utterly and completely confused when watching this movie. I don't understand what is going on. I can't seem to follow this movie at all. It's so confusing. Why is that man doing that? Why is he doing that with her? I can't figure it out where I'm at in this film. Think I need to go back? What just happened? What I miss? Why is that fish in the kitchen sink? The thing about these films, their laziness overwhelms. It doesn't take much to follow. New Notebook. Plot and story through tomorrow. I know sex sells, but movies that make sense pay the bills. Why, oh why do producers interfere? Why, oh why do executives cheer? Do they like to confuse? Does it make you happy? Does it buy new shoes? It's terrible for us to see. We can't even be relieved. We might miss some vital piece that may help or harm or make us more confused. It's so confusing. It's rather annoying. It's like I'm using acid again. Just can't follow this plot line. I'll just go wallow my entertainment in Three Stooges. So that's the song, that's the movie. I have no idea what I'm doing next week. So join me next week as we dive into another piece of cinema that hopefully makes more sense than Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.